Hello, I'm Rajiv Shesh, Chief Revenue Officer at HCL Software, and I'm delighted to welcome you to HCL Software Fireside Chat.
Hi, I'm Yuchun Lee, founder of Unica.
Hi, Kalyan Kumar, KK, Chief Product Officer of HCL Software.
So welcome, gentlemen, to this Fireside Chat. So Yuchun, let me start off by asking you, why did you choose to be in MarTech?
The true inside story is that we were trying to decide whether Unica should be an organization that help manufacturing companies to use machine learning and neural nets to optimize their manufacturing processes, or help marketers to be better at targeting their customers and better serve their customer. It was a cold February winter up in Messina, New York, where I was visiting one of our clients up in upstate New York, near the border of Canada. It was so cold, it was minus 20 degrees, I remember. And I was in the manufacturing plant with a hard hats, steel-toe boots, and walking out in the plant. I was freezing. I remember walking through, and when I breathe in the air, I can feel icicle forming in my nose, right? And that's the moment I decide I'm going to marketing, because I don't want to be in manufacturing. And so that's the ugly story behind it. Now, of course, the tremendous value we're able to add to companies in help them optimize marketing turns out to be a wonderful journey for us, and it was a very fulfilling experience for us. So the company was founded in 1992. By 1995, we decided to focus on marketing, and our vision for marketing is that the ideal organizations out there that can service their customer are those that can treat each individual customer as an individual and be able to communicate with precision and offer communications and programs and iterations and offers for them so that it feels so relevant, it feels like a service to the customer. That's really our vision. That's how we got started.
Unica, what we see it today and the way you started, the problems that you were trying to solve at that time, the problem of segmentation of one combined with scale, etc. But was it bravado, or was it, careful thinking that you said this is the way you want to go about designing technology?
It is. Let's put it this way, Rajiv. At the time, it was very clear in my head that in the future, successful companies will be able to and need to communicate with the customer with high degree of precision, this concept of segment of one. And from day one, even though the compute was not ready yet to really realize that vision, we built our solution architecturally to be as efficient as possible in terms of its ability to handle large volume, highly compute efficient. And even today, this is the only software in the market that can deal with organization with hundreds of millions of customers. And it really starts from the foundation that if you want to achieve this level of scalability, you've got to think about your architectural foundations at a different level than what you would typically do when you build software. So this is at the heart of Unica's solution, really over the last 20 plus years. And we are seeing that bearing fruit. It is a very challenging way to architect a solution that way, but the core scalability engine itself is able to bring the company forward. Hence, some of the largest companies in the world are on Unica today.
So KK, you are a creative person, right? And you like to challenge technology boundaries all the time. When you've got a gift like Unica, which is so foundationally strong at its core, how have you taken it into this omni-channel world of marketing and the challenges that the marketeers face today, and in contextualize it to today's requirement?
So I think one of the very interesting aspects, the core foundation of Unica was built with data at core. The underlying philosophy, precision marketing at scale. The fundamental piece was, can I have a data model? So it was marketing data operations at the core of what Unica always had. We got 4 modules of Unica. Now we have 14, correct? So significant investment in product development and engineering and product management and R&D. Couple of things what we realized, God made world in 7 days because he had no install base, correct? I always believe that there is too much of mindless application modernization happening in this industry. I think the world needs to start to look at mindful value extraction. So one of the things is that people sometimes always run towards a shiny new object and just not realize that the real value is not about look, feel, creative content. It's finally about data. marketing as an industry, as Rajiv, as you asked, is marketers are going through a significant evolution, correct? The whole world is asking questions around how can we directly measure the impact of marketing into directly generating revenue and improving margins, which effectively means that the traditional way of measuring effectiveness of campaigns, how much moving away from grabbing attention to be able to hyper-personalize. And now the world is moving towards the feature which Yuchun used to talk about is you have a choice, correct? Or permission-based marketing is now what people are calling privacy. And that feature existed in Unica 2 decades ago. They built that feature 15 years ago.
Is it right that you were the first one to do that?
Yeah, so the concept, we coined the term permission marketing back 14 years ago. And we were able to influence key analysts like Forrester and Gartner to think about that as a key component of marketing. This is long before privacy advocacies and data protection. Simply because it makes sense. Because as a consumer, you and I will want some control over how I'm being communicated, right? So it just makes sense, really, to us at the time.
So it's fascinating, KK. I mean, how you've leveraged the capability of this platform, I think that would be the right way to call it, to be able to operate on multitudes of data sources, to be able to operate on multiple servers that could be inside or outside the firewall.
So I remember, Rajiv, at early days of Unica, we very quickly learned from our customers that very few organizations at a time have a nice and clean database of their customers. Marketing, unlike other organizations, when you want to access customer data, they tend to come from multiple sources. And very few organizations were able to get that all cleaned up before they need to communicate with them. So early on, we built at the heart of architecture, there's a concept called Universal Data Interconnect, UDI. We came up with that term, that allow an organization, while they're cleaning up and building their data mart, they're able to leverage sources of data from multiple places and continue to do campaign, continue to communicate with them while the data mart is being built. And it turns out that that core vision, out of necessity at the time, turned out to be true over time, in that no matter how successful a company is at getting their data in a clean fashion, all it takes is one acquisition or one additional channel or one market change to create yet another data source. And it turns out to be a critical part of success to evolve with the company as it continues to grow. We used to joke that if a customer's data mart is stable and don't change, that means the business is dead, right? It's not improving. There's no more customer, no more channels, if you will. So it was at the time a necessity to solve a problem. It became a critical feature for really this whole market.
And KK, when you see this kind of a situation, how do you see HCL Software exploiting it to deliver the needs of today, both in terms of security, privacy, deployment of data?
I think if you just take through what Yuchun mentioned, go back when this architecture existed. Today, if you go and talk to every CIO or a CTO, they say, I want to separate data from application. That's the single biggest ask for every CIO. Unica inherently had that capability that the app and the data were separate because the data architecture has evolved. So now if you look at today in the HCL Marketing Cloud powered by Unica, so we have built the same core principles. The set of 14 applications on the top leverages what we call the HCL CDP or the dynamic customer profile which we create in the customer data platform. We've taken the same principles. We said, one, data continues to evolve and change. It's highly distributed. Now you have distributed processing. There's so much of data being generated all across. So the problem is just manifested into a different, this thing across multiple clouds. Because Unica had this UDI and the ability to ingest, the data format has changed. The data engines have changed. Now you have data lakes and data warehouses, your CDPs and different data sources. Now you have streamed data sources. Now we added complex event detection, which is like event processing and trigger into Unica. But the core philosophy was separating data from application, which means our CDP engine feeds all the MarTech application stacks, but we are something unique on two aspects. One, we allow you to control the way your data is deployed in the CDP, either in a virtual private cloud, in a public cloud, in a multi-tenant environment, in a single tenant, completely gated environment, or in a hybrid environment, mix of both. Public data mashed up with private data and all these combinations. The second thing is security is inherently based. You control, and that will tell the different applications in the Unica stack, or it could be any other stack. Our CDP can be used with other apps too. So we strongly believe that data is what the customer should really start to value around, and that's what Unica was built on. So we continue to adhere to the same philosophy because some of these core philosophies have evolved technical architectures, but the core philosophy of the product remains the same in terms of choice, flexibility, and I would use the word more and more which comes to my mind called trust. This is a platform of trust. Correct? People trust because it's not only inherent trust in the platform they will build and operate it, but the trust it embodies on their end customers because they're giving them the choice in terms of how they want to be communicated.
There's so much of discussion these days on the impact of large language models and generative AI in marketing. So what are your thoughts? Where do you see this taking place? How are you incorporating some of this in the technology HCL Software is bringing to market?
First of all, last time I remember being this excited about new technology was when I first saw HTML, when the whole internet was coming about. And I believe Gen AI, large language model, ChatGPT implementation of it is going to transform a large number of industry. I tell all my kids, embrace this technology. It is a superpower that will grow with you. Similar to when spreadsheet first came out, how it helped many professionals to be more successful. You know, Gen AI and specifically large language model, to me, is a productivity feature set for sure, where a large number of tasks that used to be done manually can now be automated. The way I look at it is almost like walking around life professionally with a college intern who is very well read on your left side, and then a programmer on your right side to do everything that you need to do professionally. And I see that being infused into marketing solutions in terms of productivity, efficiency, easy way to summarize knowledge and results and be able to provide recommendation. Those are the type of use cases where a large language model and ChatGPT type of technologies can do really, really well.
When we start to look at this whole thing, we look at this whole area around how do you infuse, plug in or embed AI and the subset of AI, which is generative AI, into the entire product line. So if you look at our 4 cloud strategy, one is ubiquitous cloud ecosystem. This next layer is this whole AI infusion layer. What we've done is we've really enabled 2 capabilities in others. One is we have something called an AIO and workbench. The AI workbench, which allows us to embed models and capabilities into different product lines, machine learning models, supervised machine learning models, and give our customers across different product lines, especially in business cloud, able to infuse their own models. Correct? What we're doing with commerce AI, what we're doing with embedding AI into different parts of the MarTech stack. The second aspect to this is we have this engine called Prompto, which allows us to do what we call chain of thought, COT and LLM orchestration. So it's like a prompt orchestration capability where you can pick the different language models because there's immense amount of choice of language models. So we've taken this and started taking an example of what we're doing with Rajiv in MarTech is take an example of a module like Deliver today in our MarTech stack in Unica. We're delivering, we've got a customer, we just walked out of a discussion who's doing 200 crores, which is 2 billion messages on a Deliver platform. Now, think they have thousands of agents who are looking at template creation and response moderation. To improve productivity, what we've done is we've infused generative AI into this so that we can, based on the CDP, the segmentation algorithm, now we can start to hyper-personalize the subject line for a group of segments. And then when we are tuning the subject body and the message body, we are able to use generative AI to generate content, not use templatized email or any kind of message campaign. But when the response comes back, ability to use again generative AI to dynamically engage before you hand it to a live agent. That's one use case. The second thing which we're doing is that we believe that there is too much of hoopla around UI UX modernization. We think there is a very unique perspective. Why do you want to modernize just only UI UX? Yeah, you should go and do that. We are seeing another layer which is about just putting prompt orchestration capability and say, you can tell the system of what you want. That's your new UI or new UX. So can you speak to your system? So we are building a lot of prompted capabilities inside our MarTech cloud. So we can ask for running a campaign, ask for modifying a campaign, modifying parameters, ability to configure the system, extract reports, extract insights, go and trigger, orchestrate activities. So we're applying that kind of Gen AI capabilities into the MarTech stack. We're bringing in complex event detection, where we are bringing in advanced machine learning, and then be able to take actions and generate responses using Gen AI. So there's significant amount of work as we continue to happen. One key thing which we really wanted to do in our products, we don't want to shove Gen AI into our customer and say, use it. We are not a toolkit. There's enough toolkits available on the hyperscalers, customers can use it. We want to really infuse Gen AI and AI capabilities in the product that the customer can start to realize value and outcome. So that's where we are shifting towards it.
KK, if we were to look at marketing technology particularly, every customer requirement is somewhat different from each other and should be, why not? So what is that one strength of HCL that you bring to our customers that is really valuable to them?
So I think, Rajiv, a lot of enterprise software is built for pizza slice delivery. I want you to just consume very standardized stuff, which is what we are delivering with our marketing cloud, standardized stuff. Then other extreme is a lot of our customers, because many of this out of the box doesn't meet their need, they customize the hell, or some cases they completely build stuff on the ground. Within HCL Software, we've got this whole idea which we've been working around, especially the business cloud products, is what we call as product feature teams versus customer feature teams. We believe that rather than doing customization, we can do something called engineering extensions, which we work with the customer directly or work with our partners, specialized partners who know how to build around the product, to be able to do something just like Yuchun talked about segment of one. Can we do a feature of one for a customer so that if there is unique business, if they're rewiring their business on our platform, we just don't say we will not do it or completely customize it. We'll help the customer do engineered extensions. No customer wants to customize just for customization. They're not able to extract value. So we're going to focus on value extraction by giving them that ability to get engineered feature extensions.
Let's conclude with a few interesting things about you, Yuchun. I believe you were using your studies at MIT for multiple uses.
Here we go.
Yeah. Including some card counting techniques, which you were deploying to.
Yeah, so this story follows me everywhere, as you know, Rajiv. Yes, I admit I am part of the professional MIT Blackjack team, whose the team has been now infamous because it was portrayed in a movie. It's about a team of people who can go into a casino using just your brain to count cards and be able to beat the casino and extract money from the casinos. Yeah, so I was part of that team for 6 years, and we were able to extract quite a bit of money to the point where today I'm still barred from a few casinos that I will get arrested if I step on their property. But it's been a great experience. And by the way, you also taught me fortitude. How do you stomach the swing in winning and losing, hundreds of thousands of dollars sometimes. And in business, there's ups and downs as well. So that is very interesting. Those two sets of experience really parallels in terms of what I learned from life, and really got me to be who I am today in terms of ability to rally a team of people and build a business. So it's been fun.
Well, it's been awesome, Yuchun, having you on our Fireside series, and KK for you to join. So thank you, gentlemen. It's been
my pleasure.
Enjoyable talking to you, and thank you again.
Thank you, Rajiv. Thank you, Yuchun.
Thank you.
Take care.